Hey folks, it's SeismicPanda here, and welcome to Panda's World of Minecrafting. Yay! I've been pondering, this way and that way, on what I would like to do for my series. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do a Let's Play, as I wasn't really comfortable with the idea of commentating while playing, or if I wanted to do a Let's Build type of thing, but then again, that was another area that I wasn't really comfortable with either. As you saw with my first two worlds in the tours that I uploaded just before this, I'm not that great of a builder, and although I know perfection comes with practice, I wasn't sure on how I would go about improving my skills without a theme to do it with. And so an idea came to me as I was flying around looking at this area, thinking what I could do, that it would be pretty awesome to have a waterside village of sorts. And then I got to thinking, instead of a village, why not make it like a pirate's nest? A pirate's coven, if you will. And so with that idea in mind, I thought I'd just go ahead and generate some worlds to see if I could find a location in which to build that pirate coven. And lo and behold, right on my very first try, I got this world. Right now, from what I can see, the vista is great. I can kind of envision all of this being carved away and a shanty town of sorts being put in place, maybe a couple boats in the harbor, and decks running out into the water over here so that smaller boats can carry shipment and people into the city or the town. And so I think that is what the goal is going to be, but in order to get there, I will need to progress the world a bit to collect materials. What else do I need to do? Yeah, basically collect materials, get myself food. I want to do it in a survival world and not a creative one. And so I'm thinking that the first half, well, not half, but I'll begin with a Let's Play survival type series, and then once I gather enough materials, I'll start to build the pirate coven and see where that takes us. So let's go. Well, after I filmed that, I realized that the release of 1.3 is just around the corner, and if I started playing, then I wouldn't get any emeralds and whatnot in any of the chunks that I loaded as I played here. So I thought I would just not record and explore a teeny tiny bit of the island to see what was around and not save the file. I would just start the world fresh when 1.3 came out. But once I started looking around, it was pretty awesome and I couldn't stop myself. So the spawn point is just over that hill yonder, and when I looked down from there, I saw this vast forest with pretty much nothing except trees, but there was a slight indentation over here, and I thought it might be a good spot for a house. So I just started clearing out the trees and built myself a house, a wooden shack, really quick. Inside you will see that I have a puppy, a mineshaft started, and just got the basic hemp and wheat farm going here. One thing I need to do soon is to get a nether portal up and running so that I can get some netherrack and get my, what's it called, not a cauldron, a stewing pot. I need the stewing pot so that I can tan myself some leather, or rather I think it's called scouring, but get some scoured leather and progress on with the Better Than Wolves. So that's what I've been up to. What was I going to do next? Oh right, yes. Over here I have some cows, but they're awfully noisy, and I wasn't really thinking when I built this little temporary cow pen right behind the house. I'm sure once the wind starts blowing down the hill, the stench of their cow dung is going to be that pleasant either. So the sun's setting, but let's see if I can remember where I had marked out for the new pen. I think it was around here. Yeah, I haven't looked beyond this area here, so I don't know what's over there, but I think this is a good distance away from the house to start building my pens for animals, for the livestock. And since the sun is setting, let's go to sleep real quick. Alright, so I have a couple shovels. This should be enough. I've been refraining from using iron tools, especially for pickaxes and shovels, because you just blow through them so quickly. But once I get my Better Than Wolves tools, I won't even be looking at iron, or even stone, for that matter. Let me turn this down a little bit so it doesn't overwhelm my voice too much as I talk, but I've been searching on the internet for some ideas for inspiration on how to build a pirate town. I mean, I know there isn't, it's not like a style, like a Renaissance style or Victorian style housing or town, but you know, there's a certain feel to a neighborhood where everyone's pretty much an outlaw and the population isn't fixed. There's a lot of population mobility, movement, people coming in, getting kicked out. Particularly since I'm building with blocks, I wasn't really sure on how I would need to place houses, what kind of details I would need to pay attention to get that authentic feeling of it being a pirate coven. So I found some really good ideas. In particular, I found this Lego picture to be useful, very useful, because, you know, Legos are blocks, and the way they set it up, I think, can serve as a very good blueprint, let's say, for a future town of my own. So since, I mean, cows don't need grass, but I kind of want them to be in a green pasture so they don't miss their free roaming days too much. So I'm replacing all the stone with dirt. And let's put a hatch door here so I can get in and out. Let's see if they will follow me. Get my wheat on. So yeah, the second one was going to be a sheep pen, but other than just one sheep that I saw, and that eventually roamed away to who knows where, I have not had any encounters with sheep, or pigs for that matter, in this world. And even that dog that I tamed, or wolf rather, he was all by himself. He wasn't with a pack. He was just sitting in front of my house, looking all grumpy, and looking like he needed a good pet on the head. So, oops, I guess I walked too fast, huh? Come on, moo cow. In you go. Yes. Come on, moo cows. That's not wheat for you. 1, 2, 3. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Oops. No, come back, come back. Come back. Oh, so with the Better Than Wolves 3.9 update, Flower Child added some realistic, well, slightly more realistic graphics for animal breeding. And I must say, it's actually kind of gross. I mean, I like it, but yeah, have a look-see. Blood particles flying all over the place. Yep. So that's a more realistic breeding. Yeah, animation. I wonder if it's the same for pigs and sheep as well. Pretty gross. Alright, and how many more blocks do I want to fill with hemp? I'm thinking maybe on one side I will leave some room for pumpkins and melons. Let's see. I don't want the hemp farm to feel crowded. I need more hemp than I need wheat. So, you know what? It doesn't really matter. Eventually, it's just gonna, I'm just gonna be adding more layers to this or something. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I think eventually I'll have the first floor as the wheat farm and then have a second floor where I'm growing hemp. No, because then it'll mean I'll have to uproot all the hemp and it takes forever for them to grow. But then again, hemp need to see the sun in order to grow. Maybe I'll just make the entire area be a hemp farm, and then I can expand over this way or that way on a slightly tiered patch of land for the wheat. So I'll have a few rows of wheat here and maybe some pumpkin over here. Yeah, pumpkin and melons. That sounds like a good idea. Oop, better not fall into that. So, the reason I left... Oop, just a second. Okay, the reason I left the lava here, as opposed to making a nether portal right away, was because I didn't want to build it so close to the pirate coven that's eventually going to be on the other side of that hill that I couldn't make a second one in that town. So in other words, I wanted to build it far enough away so that I could build another one over there and it not be considered to be in the same area. And yeah, I took a look at the coordinates, and if the nether portal for the pirate town is on the far side of the bay, then it should be, this distance should be enough that it won't overlap. I might take it a little further away out here just to be safe. But yeah, I've never really been able to get the math for the nether traveling thing, you know, down pat, because I thought in my other world, I thought I'd gotten it right, but whenever I exited from the second portal, or the destination portal that I wanted to get out of, it would just randomly create a new portal for me in the middle of nowhere, and it was a hassle getting those extra obsidian circles down, although I did end up with more obsidian than I could use. Let us see now. How far? Oh, I think what I'll do now is mill some hemp, and since that's not really fun to watch, I'll bring you guys back when I'm done with it.